it's of course always hard to go from physical to virtual, but I think, I mean, given the circumstances, it's the only way to go. And I think that was really very helpful how it was organized. I think in relatively short notice, a very professional transition towards going completely virtual. So it worked, and the platform worked, the connectivity was good. So I didn't experience any IT problems, and in that sense, it was relatively easy to use as well. So this was a multi-day, quite complex conference with many attendees from all around the world, including exhibitions and stuff. So I think it was the most complex one I attended so far in the virtual world. Yeah. It was, of course, a pleasure and a privilege to chair the opening session, the CEO strategic session, and also to do both the moderation and be a speaker myself. But that worked very well, actually, because you have this chat box, so you can follow during the presentations of the colleagues what kind of questions come in, and you can orchestrate. I could orchestrate quite well, what questions to ask, and to make sure there is like smooth transition between the speaker slots. And then, of course, at the end we had a panel where I had also the opportunity to bundle some of those questions into larger themes that we could then discuss with the panel. And the panel was fantastic because everybody was sticking to the time, and in that sense, it just worked out really well. I mean, the whole oil and gas and petrochemical industry is at the start of a massive transition, a massive energy transition, a transition towards net zero, which is an enormous task that lies ahead of us. And that was the main theme throughout this opening session, how oil and gas majors are working to make their own operations more, carbon efficient. But also we discussed the transition from oil and gas to blue and green hydrogen, the transition from oil and gas to the hydrogen economy. And also the role that oil and gas majors can and should be playing in that massive energy transition. And that was very, very interesting because all the speakers addressed this topic. And that made it this, so I think also for the audience, a session that was well-rounded, that connected really well between the speeches. I think it worked really well. Why do I say it? Because we are all in different time zones. So keeping this business-to-business meeting calendar up to date and making appointments all across these time zones is not an easy task. And that's what you did really well. As organizers, I think that was really helpful. Also facilitating that people could find each other in the virtual world, that we could reach out to you and say, I want to talk to this or that company, and can you establish the contact? That was just very helpful. I think that was really making the discussions and the planning go very, very smoothly without an overlap or too much overlap between the appointments and interesting sessions and those kind of things. So that worked really well. I think that was a very nice touch, and I'd never seen that before, to be honest. So that was a very good addition.